What's going on? So apparently, Ontario is introducing some new restrictions to its citizens' daily lives, and I want to hear what this is about because I'm hearing about this and it's trending number one, and I'm just kind of over with this whole pandemic like everyone else. Let's get into it.
Measures did very little to curb social interactions, evident by the thousands of people who flocked to the malls and other retail outlets despite being urged to not go out over the holiday weekend.
Well, people need social interaction.
That Ford said shouldn't be happening. Take a listen.
Folks, you know, this variant is taking off. A lot of people were going into the malls and doing their little wander around and coming out with no bags. So that tells me they're just out for an evening or a daily jaunt. You can't do that. I'm sorry.
What?
But going to the malls is not essential. What's essential is going to buy food, going to buy medicine out of the pharmacies, and getting your vaccines.
Okay, hold on.
It was in that same news conference that.
So you just said, go out for vital importance, go buy food, go to pharmacies. Walmart has pharmacies in it. They also have food. You know, not everybody can afford to go to travel far distances or to expensive stores, right? Walmart provides a good service for cheap. So if you're talking about the mall, some people may only have that option to go do that. So you can't tell people, hey, just go to the pharmacy, get your medicine, go get food. But when they go do that, just because in big groups, now you want to get mad at them? Like, and what he also said that we can't go for jogs? Huh? I don't know what's going on here, but are we living in a cage? What's going on? Are we trying to... let's not forget that we're still dealing with human beings. Yes, there's a pandemic going on, but it's also affecting the lives of people. And if you forget that, you're not going to be able to connect to your audience and be able to get them to do what they need to do to help you stop the spread of this virus.
The Premier hinted that more restrictions would be coming. The Ontario Medical Association that represents the province's doctors, they've been calling for a stay-at-home order, as has the medical officers of health for Toronto, Ottawa, and Peel region. They made a similar call earlier this week with a letter. The province has been reporting around 3,000 new cases for each day since last Friday, Heather.
Okay,
and
that's
hospitalizations, well, they are going up with 510 people now in ICU, the highest at any point of this pandemic. And again, a bit of the backdrop there as we now await the formal announcement of this province-wide stay-at-home order.
You know, one of the things that very interesting in that, Michael, last time big box stores were allowed to open throughout the store, correct? Remember, there's a lot of criticism for that from small retailers. Why were they allowed to open for clothing and things when it was just the essential areas that people were allowed to? So a change this time round. It's going to be pharmacy and groceries in those big box stores.
Exactly.
Is there any word on what the province is going to do about schools?
Well, that's a good question, because in that letter that was signed by the medical officers of health from Toronto, Ottawa, and Peel, they did ask the province to go completely online or at least bring about a hybrid model. But there's actually no indication at this point that a province-wide...
That's another point. Online school, best thing to come out of this pandemic. Online school, right there. Beautiful. Who doesn't love not having to leave your bed to take out your laptop? What's good, everybody? Good job on that. But also, I think for some people, they also do want to go see their friends. But, yeah, let's see.
Closure of schools
Keep
is
going.
part of this current government plan, Heather. Still, as we reported, Peel Region's top doctor did order the closure of schools in Peel. That began yesterday, and we can now tell you that Toronto is going to follow suit starting today. Dr. Eileen de Villa shutting down schools in the city. It begins today again with a 2-week period, so not a lot of time for parents to react, but it is a move that Dr. de Villa is defending. It was interesting to hear her conversation with you in the last hour, and for those who missed it, take a listen to what she had to say about triggering this move to close schools.
This is really crazy.
We were seeing more and more community activity. The cases were going up, the rates were going up in the community. And in fact, what we were seeing in our schools was a reflection of exactly that. Increased community COVID-19 transmission was manifesting itself as increased COVID-19 cases in schools. And, you know, with the greater transmissibility associated with these variants of concern, we were really left with no choice but to make that very, very difficult move.
And as you know, Heather, because it was your conversation, Dr. Davila went on to say this is not an easy decision to close down schools, but with wider measures about to be introduced by the province, she says it should help the situation.
You see, the problem with my final thoughts on this, I would say, is you're expecting people to not talk, to not communicate, to not be a community. Human beings, we are social creatures. Like, unfortunately, you need to understand that. I know we all have a responsibility, but there has to be some understanding from the government. You guys have to set up some safe zones, or you need to allow. You need to. You know what? It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard in this situation because there's people's lives that are at jeopardy. People who could die. So I know we have a part to do. I'm not being I'm not being too insensitive here because this has been going on for over a year. I'm just speaking on behalf of a lot of people that are tired and exhausted and are kind of over this whole pandemic. You know, so this idea now that we can't even go out to jog, maybe I need to get some fresh air to let out the depression. Nothing. It's crazy. The world's getting into a very crazy place. We have never seen this before on such a global scale. But it is what it is, man. But you best believe I'm gonna be here to talk honestly about it. So make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment, and let me know what you want to. Let me know what you want me to react to next. You know, I will definitely love to do more stuff like this. But yeah, anyways, that's it. Woo!